In Excel, our data change all the time, but borders are usually static. Today, I will show you a smarter way to create borders that react to your data. No VBA, no manual work, only built-in Excel features. We will use conditional formatting to build dynamic borders. These borders automatically adjust when your data grows or shrinks. This is very useful when you work with dynamic formulas and split ranges. Now, let's open Excel and build this step by step. Okay, in this file, we have a data table on the left side. That table contains rental property data from several countries. We have Czechia, Germany, Spain. Our first task is to create a filter formula. This formula will always show data only from the country that we select in this drop-down menu. Let's start to write our formula. Equals filter. Our array will be city till monthly rent. These are the fields that we want to include. Semicolon. And what do we want to include? We want to include this drop-down menu. We fix it with dollars. And then what is equal to our selected country in this column. And that's it. Enter. Now we have our formula working. So if we change to Germany, the data will automatically change. Now what I want to do is set up a conditional formatting. The goal is to automatically add borders only to the cells that contain any data. This way our table becomes much clearer and easier to read, especially when the data change. So for example, if we go for Czechia, we will have borders only in this area. If we then change it to Germany, our conditional formatting will change as well. To do that, we go to conditional formatting, new rule, only format cells that contain, and change the rule to not equal to double quotes. And we change our formats. I want a green color and all the borders. Okay, confirm by clicking OK. And that's it. That's pretty much what we wanted. Now everything is formatted. If I change the value in our drop-down menu, then my borders is automatically reacting to the cells that have any data in there. There is, however, still one task we need to adjust. So let's go back to our conditional formatting, manage rules. And in here, you can see that this formatting applies to our range, which now ending in row 14. So let's make it a little bit bigger and do it by, let's say, 100. This will give enough space to grow. Okay, let's just test it one more time. So we switch to Germany. Everything looks okay. To Spain. Yes, it's working. Back to Czechia. Perfect. Now we can move to our second example. Here we want a table where we enter data manually. As soon as we start to type data in any row, the entire row should be highlighted with a border. Of course, the best solution would be to convert this range into an Excel table, which expands automatically. But in this case, let's say we want a different approach. The first problem we need to solve is this. How do we detect that specific rows contain any data? For that, we will use extra helper column. As our solution, we use count A formula. Count A is returning number of cells that are not empty. So we select our range, which will be one row, and close the formula. And we see number 7. So for our calculation, every time the number is higher than 0, we know that something is there and we want the conditional formatting to work. What can we do right now? It's to just drag and drop, and let's say till here, and you can see 7, 7, 0, 0, 0. This might work, but we are in modern Excel, right? We don't want to be static and we don't want to copy cells, etc., etc. So let's go back. And we do things a little bit differently now. Equals by row, and we do our array. In this time, we want to select whole array, let's say till I26. Semicolon, and what we do as a by row function is we select count A. Good. That's it. Now we have pretty much the same result, but we have a dynamic formula. There is still one thing which bothers me, and that's the empty cells, right? Why do we have empty cells if there are no data? So to fix that, we go back to our formula and we can use trim range. Just put a small dot and enter. Now this formula will expand anytime there are new data in our array. So let's test it. And we put some data here. And it's working. Formula is expanding. It will do so till our range, which is I26. So let's expand it as well and let's do I100. And we have now covered 100 rows. That should be more than enough. Now let me quickly explain the by row function. By row is working row by row. It applies a formula to our selected range. So first we select our range, which is our table, and then we apply a function. In our case, we selected count A function. Therefore, we have our results row by row, and count A is returning how many non-empty cells there is. So in here we see in our row there is 7 non-empty cells. In here we have only one non-empty cell. And so on and so on and so on. Okay, we have our helper column now, so we can proceed and do our conditional formatting. So let's select a range, go to conditional format, new rule, and in this time we use a formula. And our formula will be A7 plus S4 to make sure that we are moving with the rows. And if A7 is bigger than 0, then we want to change our format, border colors. I again select green, all the borders, OK, and confirm. That's pretty much it. It should work. One more thing, manage rules, and I increase our range to match our by row formula, so till row number 100. Final test. We input new data, and it looks like it's working perfectly. So every time I put the data in any of our cells that are in this range, we will see the borders appearing. And that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video helped you and gave you some useful ideas for working in Excel. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more Excel tips and tricks. I will see you in next video.